Се што побарав, Pathfinder-и, ротација со Array модифаери има, не знам точно каква е, треба да видам, значи ја немам тестирано уште, пошто ќе ми треба тоа многу. За спидометар ако правиш. Имав некоја луда замисла у главата, не знам колку е тоа исплатливо, ама
Сум само го ставив на мјут пошто пуштив стрим, за да не се слушам да не се слушаш да што збориме.
не, терес.
Нема га лем.
Да не, па не знам да го почнеш ти, не кажа.
Па да не те прекинам.
Не, па кажи да...
Не бе, не. Ставив на мјут само и те слушам.
Ништо, тера е да стриме, здрави, правиме мовет, после пиши.
До... Ајде. Чао, чао. Hi Freaky, hi there. Can you hear me? I think yes, actually. My mic is on. I'll be starting in a minute, guys. Checking some things here. There are a lot of things that I need to update. One of which is these, how to call it, like intro of the channel needs to be updated as well, but some other time, no time right now, as I'm working on this and then developing another vehicle after that. Yeah. Okay, so just in a minute I'll be beginning. Today I hope to finalize more or less the rear end of the engine. Yesterday we did a good modeling of the scan that's on the back that you can see on the previous video. Just a moment, set the folder, reload the Porsche file number 87. That's how many reiterations I've done on this vehicle. And let's load the images here. Okay, and we are on. Hi guys. For the first time, I have a message before I even begin. It's Freaky. Welcome on the stream, buddy. And let's have some fun. Okay. So yesterday we did that. But for now, we'll separate these two because I'm not yet sure what I have on the other side. For the whole process to be speeded up, I'll do that. So good morning, Willem. How's the weather in Netherlands? When I think of it, it reminds me of the morning when we arrived in first place we've arrived actually was in Amsterdam, and I still forget the fog that was that morning, how foggy everything was, and some details, and I don't know, it left such an impression on me. Now on my end here it's a bit foggy to some degree, so yeah, good morning mate, nice to have you here. For whoever is interested, I don't know how many people are watching right now. 7 people, okay, awesome. So to all of you 7 people and those who will be watching afterwards, after this stream ends maybe, Willem here that just wrote on YouTube, you can find his YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe because that guy is doing amazing cinematics related to automotive stuff. He has already made several, not several, I meant to say at least one I've seen, and really hat off to him, very nice ones. Whereas I'm now modeling vehicles, he's working in cinematics. And instead of spending his time on doing modeling like I'm doing right now, he's doing that with creating cinematics for cars, and they're absolutely brilliant. And that's actually the direction I want to take once I am, how to say, I mean, like Matthew McConaughey says, you cannot be ever, established, like you can always grow, right? So, but anyway, once I have enough of doing 3D modeling. I want to focus on doing those kind of cinematics. So for whoever hasn't been around yesterday, my plan is on finishing this Porsche within, I don't know how much. I don't want to put now constraints, because I'm very much I very much like to develop it in detail as much as I can. So once I finish this, then I have the McLaren MP44 of Ayrton Senna, and beyond that I have no idea what next. So in between all the works that I do for clients and so on, I plan on at least trying to make something as good as Willem does when it comes to cinematics. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Willem, it's a bit modest, he says. Nah, like no. Yes, mate, yes. I mean, the cinematics are great. They deserve to be seen. Can they be better? Absolutely. We can. Each of us can be better every day and do stuff better. Heck, the Ford I've been developing last year. Yeah, it's been actually last year. When I see it, how I've made it, I would say I'm not that super happy with it. I'm happy how it looks and everything and all that. Yeah, it's great. But some of the parts, how they are done, I wish I've done them better. For example, the racing seats I've done for that one, and details as such. Yeah, they could have been done better a bit, but I did not thought they were be that much crucial. So anyway, for this one, I want to make it not to make the same thing, like not to have the same feeling afterwards. But who knows? I mean, after doing some other things maybe, and let's say improving skills and so on, like learning new things, maybe I'll say this is not good enough either. So my point being is that maybe, yeah, you're modest obviously and you don't think that the cinematics aren't that good, but from what I've seen on YouTube and elsewhere, they're pretty good, and they're pretty good honestly, and really, like, I would say a benchmark of where I want to they can be my benchmark of where I'm headed, where I want to go towards, to develop my skills. Because I don't know much about animation of cars. I know how the cars would behave, I know how maybe to drive them and such and so on, but animation wise, vehicles, I don't know. And that's something I'm very much keen on learning. For anyone who might be wondering why on earth am I developing this vehicle that long, because just for context, I'm developing this vehicle since July 25th, if not even earlier than July, maybe June, but just some small stuff. Anyway, it's because I'm working more or less, in my spare time. It's not like I'm working on this like all my time, all the time that I have, and that's it. It's basically for 3 hours in a day, not more than that. At first, when I began working on this, the whole process of this is filmed on YouTube or Twitch or Kick. It's filmed, whatever it's left there, it's left. Whatever it's not, I've deleted it. But the whole process has been thoroughly streamed, and what I wanted to say is that at first I was streaming around 9 hours a day, something like that, but I realized that cannot be the case. I cannot go on like that. I have many other obligations towards clients. I have time for myself, of course, doing other things. Heck, here Willem would understand. I mean, I haven't even done any sim racing, and I love sim racing. So you know, it just takes a lot of time. So as of like probably a month ago, I decided that I'll be streaming only 3 hours a day, maybe 4 if I'm into mood, but sorry, but not longer than that, because yeah, for example, I'll tell you guys my schedule for today would be uh, developing this vehicle until 12 o'clock, and straight on after that I have to finish some things around town, so I'll be off for around 2 hours. The moment I get home, I'm continuing developing another vehicle for a client. Again, I cannot say a word about that, more in details I meant. And it's also in details like this one, and if not more, because it will be for a AAA game. That's all I can say, and I'm very proud to work on it. So yesterday I started on it. I had difficulties navigating around the chassis because the vehicle does not have clear lines around the front of the bumper, and it was a bit difficult to navigate on how few of the lines really have to be aligned. You're watching the reference photos, but they don't align as much, so it's pretty tricky. So what I want to say now is that people are looking this one, and I've received fair share of compliments and so on, but this vehicle is fairly simple, I would say, because the contour lines of it, you can see it clearly, and then from the front you can see how this line here would fall. Then you would arrange these, and sure enough, from the top you also get how the cockpit is. Now I've done this based on a 3D scan, so I had the chassis of this, but also even developing it from blueprints, as I've done for several of the parts on the chassis, especially for the back part, it's fairly easy. But when you have as simple as, I know, like a flat line on front, maybe I'm not gonna be explaining myself well here, but when you have like a flat line here on the front, like normal cars bumpers are, but there are several details around the bumper, and they just kind of don't add up. Maybe just the references are not quite okay or whatever, but it can get tricky, is all I'm trying to say, for something small as that. At least when I'm trying to make a car, I'm trying to make it exactly how it's shown on the blueprint, so no weaving off of the blueprints. So trying to understand and find the right lines to make it really authentic and how it is can be sometimes a bit tricky. So again, what I wanted to say is that yesterday I bit not lost, again I will say I did not lost any time, but I had, let's say, slow progress. So today, after finishing this stream, I'm very much looking forward to continue working on that, because I want to make a big progress today. So to speed up the whole process, as I have a lot of things to do on it, like everything has to be made: interior, suspension, below the car, gears, how the wheels turn, the whole of it, all of it, and it's really also something that requires a lot of attention. So yeah, that's that. Meaning that I won't have much time really to do more streaming. So I wish I had, but it is how it is. Maybe in the future, if I have more time, I'll be able to do more stuff also, or stream more even, or who knows. I mean, if this turns out to be something that can cover me for the expenditures I have in life. I love filming as well, like Willem does, although I'm not that skillful with apps and things like editing, I don't know, VFX stuff, things like that. I very much like to film. I very much like to travel, visit places, create, you know, like reels or whatever. And speaking of, maybe it's something I should do, because I've visited quite a few places in the past 3 years, like Rome, Bologna, Rome, Lisbon, Porto, Istanbul, you know, and Sicily, like whole island. So maybe I should do some videos of those and actually create a new channel where I can showcase those. It might be interesting, because as of now I'm only posting 3D work related on my YouTube channel, on this channel that from which I'm streaming right now. Geez, talking too much, I guess, but it's one way to wake up myself. Why on earth I have the frontal of the car? I don't need it. That wasn't. Yep. How on earth should I connect this? Maybe it is like that. Now, big portion here it's missing, and I have no idea how to connect it. Okay, I'm seeing this. Okay, that's obviously something else. Yeah, that's actually this part. That's that part over there. And by the way, we have it. Yeah, that's the one. I'm very much content, guys, with how this turned out to be. I like it a lot. Aha, I see. So okay. So we have 1, 2, and then we have like this X here. So it's not X like, yeah, the line. So I'll try and just go about it like this to train myself and see what really I can do like this without thinking it too much. It would be good for me to train on it for, you know, how I need to approach the other vehicle as well later on, where I'll have to make these things like this, like I'm doing right now, without much honestly thinking, you know, in sense of whether this detail here or there. I just have to go with it and see whatever makes sense the most. So that's pretty high, but this is pretty bunched up like that. Okay, let's focus on this so I have a clear indication where I need to focus without wondering too much. Now, how is this? Come on. Okay, so we need to line this up like that. Now I have a continuing line here like that, and that's perfect. Now what I might need is actually just we need to separate this, not like that. What the hell? Chamfer. That doesn't work. Okay. Okay. So sometimes Maya is so slow, it's really a pain. Now we have this, and that's what I needed. Now I'll close this a bit more to give Come on, I mean, so slow. Jesus, what the? I'm thinking, guys, on switching the schedules in order to stream now. Actually, to stream in the evening hours, around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., something like that. But I'm wondering, will that be better or for the worse? And you know, sometimes I just cannot really make myself do things late, whereas doing them in the morning, I don't know, it just feels easier. Hi, Biba. It's not often, it's always, actually, because since 2 weeks now I'm streaming exactly at the same time Oleg is streaming. I was not aware though that on his end it's night, on my end it's morning hours. So we overlap in that sense. The whole notion of mine is that I'm better off streaming in the morning before I do any work, because the moment I start doing work on projects, I kind of get lost in it. I won't stop until it's finished. I won't stop until I'm happy with it. Whereas on stream, I am doing it really to enjoy, you know, to have fun, to take things easy, and so on, and discuss with people, of course. So I'm reasoning that if I'm not streaming in the morning, I might probably not stream at all, because in the evenings, I'm not even sure whether I'll have the nerves or the energy and so on. So I thought it's probably for the better if I do it in the morning hours, and the morning hours turn out to overlap with Oleg's. But I'm sure there is, you know, for how to say, publicity for everyone. I mean, Oleg's streaming in Blender, I'm working in Maya. Now, depending who works in what, they would be watching either one or the other. I mean, it's no big deal for me. I would do it anyway, so yeah. So this ends up here somehow. There's a straight line over there, but I don't see it here. And yeah, that's where this block finishes here. This one. That's where it's finished. And that's about right there. So apparently there's a line here, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. If this is the tube here going, and then we have this. Hi GK. Hi GK. Hello mate. Biva says, so taking away your viewers each other. Yeah, like I've said, man, I don't care much about that. People are free to watch whatever they like. It doesn't matter to me if they're 1 or 10 or 100. Now, of course, 100 would be a difference, substantial difference, but still, it's not like I'm having 100. And I'm thinking that if I ever get to that point, it will be completely irrelevant whether I'm streaming with Oleg's in the same time or not. So you can kind of use, you know, see what my point is. But yeah, like I've said, there is at least anything for everyone, whatever they want to watch. GK, doing pretty much, man, both 3D, you know, cleaning, and as well as trying to navigate around the form of this engine. So this is what we have so far, and this is the 3D scan. So what I'm about to do now, working on at least, is I'm trying to make sense how to fill this in here. You know, doing some imagination, creative work, and while at the same time trying to look at this area here, because that's what we are working on. So I'll go back to the model I have at hand, and you see we have this like you didn't have sound on for subscription. One guy subscribed now. One guy subscribed, but that's on YouTube, and that's why. That's for YouTube. And to be quite honest, I have no idea, man, why some people, when they subscribe, there is sound. For others, there is no sound. I have no idea, and I never bothered that much to check that out. Why is it like that? So I would just lie to you whatever I say, so I'll just say I have no idea, because I really don't. I don't know how it works really. Anyway, so we have like a straight line from here to... Okay, so this should be flat. So let's start with that. This should be flat and going in that direction. So I'll make it like this. And then I'll try to align it here. I have to start from somewhere. So now what we have, okay, that's a sharp down line, which is not right, but this, after all, it's made according a scan. So what's right, what's not here? That's the scanned data over there. Okay, that should be probably behind, but still, it's very high up over there, and this is where it needs to come, and it's at a higher line. Actually, this is an elevated platform. So okay, actually I think I don't know what to think, guys. This area, it's this here, and then we have this, which is this. This in between, it's hidden here. Jesus. Okay, I'll just try something now. What? Wait, what's that there? Where's the 3D scan? Okay, now I think I got it. So actually, this in here, it's this detail, but going how far? How much do we have here? Shouldn't be that much low. Should be something like that. Then this should be pretty much like this. Was also doing a live stream, but my OBS crashed, and here I come, notification popped up, commission work. It's really corrupt mesh. So do you use Maya for modeling? What about Blender? I use Maya because back in 2016 I graduated at Maya. I went in academy for 3D, and they were teaching Maya. So every single time, now I'm making this analogy of every single time that I need to switch, like not that I need, but when I want to switch and try to learn Blender, it's like whenever I go skiing, and I always say I want to try and learn how it is, you know, with snowboarding, but every single time I go on skiing, it's like you have these 10 days to enjoy the time and ski, or would you just rather learn again how to walk and learn snowboarding? So I always end up going with the flow and with the skiing, of course. So it's like that for me every single time. Whenever I have to do something, I'm working with Maya. I don't have the time to learn Blender, but sometimes in the future, when I will have the time, I want to learn the software because of all the great features it offers. Like for example, for car rendering, they have these specific car paint materials which are procedurally made, and they're great. They look very nice. the rendering setup and all that, it's very friendly, unlike in Maya. In Maya you really have to be like, I'm not saying I am, far from that, I'm still, you know, trying to learn new things every single day, but it's definitely, you know, the things in Maya, they don't come easy. You have to, even if you're trying to find tutorials, they're very hard to come by, because either you're working with some specific render, like I am working with V-Ray, so not many people are working with V-Ray, but it's like probably one of the best, and if not, you know, the best. So when I'm trying to find tutorials about that, it's just very few people who worked with it. So I really cannot, you know, you cannot learn a lot. It's more like you have to do it yourself and find a way yourself. I still remember on Maya 2020 when I've made finally a shadow catcher, so to make some renders with the Ford. Oh, how happy I was! I remember. I mean, I couldn't find any tutorial. I was just going around like in circles, and eventually did it somehow. In Blender at the time, you could do it with, I don't know, like 2 clicks, and that, you know, it was painful, the least. But yeah, now it's much simpler. For example, there are a lot of new features for this one. All I'm trying to say is that it's getting better, but when you ask me what about Maya, that's what's about that. I want to learn it, but I just don't have the time right now. So yeah, I'm Vertex doing modeling always, more or less. I'm also using curves when I need to. For example, when I have you know, like 2 shapes, where how to show this now. If I have 2 shapes and on the, let's say one on the top, it's, watch it like this from here, it's bent a bit like that, and the other behind, or how it would be, it's the other way around, and you cannot find the middle ground in between. I'll just drag, you know, both shapes, and I will let it the loft, you know, to make the rest, and then flex it a bit to make it right. I won't go and do that with vertex modeling. I'm not sure if I explain that a bit, you know, good, but I hope you understood what I meant. In any case, this being mechanical here and pretty flat, I'll try, guys, to make it flat as well. I have too much, or maybe I shouldn't, because I think I will, after all, like that. GK, it's slower, you know, with vertex modeling, but it gives you such a nice control, and the quality, for me, it's better. And also, I know that's what they require in studios. Like, they won't allow you to, you know, to use curves. Curves would be allowed to, I mean, you can use them, surely, sure, but you know, it's not something that they would like to see. I don't know, like, I'm, you know, trying to educate myself and read things and see how this and that works, and it's not that they don't use them, they use them for sure. It's just that, you know, when you're working in a studio like that, they want to see that you know how to get around in with a harder way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really weird. Anyway, Willem says yes, those times. Yeah, man, those times. I mean, today I see people, they complain about doing simple stuff. What if I tell them that back in 2016 we were at the academy meant to do circles. For example, let's say I want to make a circle here, right, on this one, perfect circle. So how we went about that is extrude this, have it like that, but where's the offset? Okay, right now it won't be working, so anyway, let's just try and do this actually, like that. So we'll do this, like add all these additional points here. So guys, this is how we've made circles back in the day, 10 years ago. So we'll have this. Now we'll have a cylinder here, like that, pin it on the top, bring it down here, try to level it by eyeballing it, literally. And what you do after that is you try to pinpoint all these edges that we had, like this. And then you have the circle. So circle by circle, you know, and make it like that all around. So today you just, I don't know, you have all these plugins and doing all that crazy stuff, like super easy. Then you just clean the geometry. Also, I mean, back in the day, of course, they had booleans, but from what I've been told, they have been pretty much you know, like a no, you know, you cannot use them and this and that. No idea why, no idea. I mean, when I say no idea why they weren't allowed to be used, is because I understand the complexity behind them and that they can corrupt the geometry, but also I understand that there is a way how to clean them. So if you know how to do that, I don't see what's the problem, you know, like why wouldn't you be allowed to use them? But sure enough, in this studio where I was working on these race cars, one guy used boolean and the whole scene crashed. He did not have any saves and he lost the work for the day. So that was the first time I said to myself, like, you know what, there are smarter guys than you who said this for a reason. So, you know, it's not up to me to try and, you know, make sense whether something should be or shouldn't be done. Still good to know the old techniques that always work. Yeah, man. Like the old days. I mean, that's how, you know, we've had to make circles. It was crazy, really, to think about it right now. Today you have this circleize tool in Maya. It's making circle within a second. Then you just pinpoint it to wherever you want it to be. As simple as that. Back in the day it wasn't like that, and you know, I'm grateful for that because it made me learn, you know, like the core principles on how 3D modeling is done. Which is why I also was very much against, not against, but I don't appreciate much when I hear these Blender guys say, oh, you know what, I can do that in 3 hours. Yes, you can, if you use these bunch of plugins and you go around some, you know, there are quite a few loopholes that you can go around and not care much about, but that's not how it should be made. Sure, it might sell the product. Sure, it might be the only thing the client wants, you know, and so on. Like, it will be sufficient enough, but if you're serious about 3D and you're meant to do serious work, that won't be allowed and that won't be enough, and so on. So that's it was actually to a great relief of mine when I heard this guy that made the donut in Blender, who said, you know, he kind of made it popular and all that, and then he comes and says, for whoever is using Blender, please start with the fundamentals of Blender and don't use any plugins. When he said that, I went back to this friend of mine and told him, yeah, you see it? Remember what I've been telling you? You know, I was right. Like, because if you don't do that, plugins alone won't make you 3D artist. You have to know how the 3D works, how to make things hard way, how to clean that up, how to go around certain geometries. If you don't do that, plugins alone and doing things quickly, it's not like the flex, you know, in 3D. I won't be happy to say, oh, I did this car in 2 days. Sure, go and do it. Be my guest. That's the only thing I have problems with, like, not personally, or personally I don't have problem with anything. I mean, I'm working for lots of clients, I'm happy with what I do, and I don't bother that much, honestly. But it's just that I have this belief of what's right, what's not. Now I'm not a judge, of course, or I shouldn't even be. I mean, I don't know how this sounded. Anyway, it's just that people, I think, like, they don't realize that they're doing themselves this service. You know, when you say that something is done very easy or very fast, how do you think that's seen in the eyes of the clients? You know, oh, this guy, let him be, he can do it in 1 hour, I'll pay him like this and that much. And always, I mean, always there will be like one side for this, that side for that. There will be people who say, well, you know what, you can, once you're established, you can do a lot of work for less time and earn more, and so on and so on. But it's not how always been, right? So there is this guy on YouTube. I'm sure much of you have came across him. I won't say his name, but I'll say just that he's cursing a lot, and he's speaking in such an arrogant way that, you know, it's almost like a, you know, a tactic for him of his to make people, you know, hooked up and watching more and more and more. So one day I came across his YouTube channel, and he was talking about how one should model a car. And he says, he starts off the tutorial saying, by like something like, let's not be stupid and do subdivision modeling, but we will use curves or curvatures, however you like to say them, to call them. And I'm like, why on earth would you think that this is stupid, or who are you in the end to proclaim that this is stupid, or this or that is stupid? It's creative process. It has its own use here and there, and I won't say a thing, but I think I explained it well. You see what I mean? It's like there is no absolute truth, you know. I'm not saying, for example, also that plugins shouldn't be used. Plugins should be used if they can help you with the work, and they can speed up the workflow, and so on and so on. But I guess the right for newcomers to proclaim they're good at something solely because they did it with plugin, it's not the right approach, I would say. Hi Turning Cock, hi man, welcome on the stream. Saw you the other day. By the way, guys, let me do a shout out to Turning Cock, who, by the way, does amazing work and is doing a great Unreal Engine stuff. I'm not even sure what that exactly is. I'm always seeing lots of buildings and lots of things going on. The other day he was doing some he was going around car materials, although he's working on a game with other people. So let me just go try and navigate myself here to try and do that, what I wanted to do, because I'm not very much good with yeah, I don't have my chat here. How to do that? Let me how to make a shout out username. Okay, now I think I have it. Do I have to yeah. I think the secondary message has been sent. I think not. Anyway, what I meant to say, guys, is that he's doing great stuff in Unreal Engine, and if one is, interested in learning it, I advise you to follow his channel, because I'm sure you can learn a lot. They're working on a lot of stuff, making a game, like I've mentioned. So there are lots of things that one can, use for their own workflows and see how things are done. Heck, he has made like a whole environment and driving with a car and all that. I wished I could stay around that long to see those bits, but I had to go. Like, I would have to go straight after this stream. I'll have to go and do some other stuff, and I won't have much time to see anything really. But whenever I have a time, I know I am watching it, because it's very good. Hat off, Turning Cock. I mean, really, man. That thing, what you've been doing with Unreal Engine, that I've seen, it's really impressive. I'm working on new substrate material workflows for my main project. I would like to see that, as I've been not working myself. I haven't been, developing anything of that kind, but I've been watching extensively a few tutorials from what was this guy's name? Yeah, I'll be mistaken, so I'd rather not say anything fake. Anyway, I've been watching some tutorials on substrate materials and trying to replicate. I did actually 3 of them. They turned out to be nice, but yeah, myself, I haven't done anything of substance really. Thanks for the shout out. No, man, I mean, you fully deserve it, and when I come to think of it, I just also have to remember that whenever I join your stream, I kind of feel guilty, because whenever I do so, you're giving out shout out for my YouTube channel. So even though I've never asked it, it's really genuine from your end, and I appreciate it a lot. So I want to return the favor, and not only because of that, but because truly the work it's very good, and you really deserve it. So there it is. I think I'm making a progress here with this, pretty much how it should be, except this piece in here. Oh guys, actually, oh my. Okay, let's do some operations here. So to make things easier, I did not read that well, so I'll have to delete all this, but don't be whenever you guys would be doing this, if anyone at beginner's stage doing this, don't be afraid, it's just a simple thing. So what I'm gonna do actually is just try to find a middle ground of this, and I'll use this one so they are like fully parallel, so everything to make sense. Maybe they won't after all, but not. That doesn't make sense, so what should I use? This one, I guess. Yep, that one. And also for Yep, like that. All of that to be parallel one to each other, and that would be nice. Now what I need to do is to add a circle here, because we have this that's going down, and then this is continuing. There it is. Now it makes sense. So I'll add a circle here. I've been talking quite a lot, so I'll just try and focus on the work. I hope you guys won't mind me. After all, sometimes it's like I have this overthinking thoughts that, you know, like I should stop talking, like who am I, you know, to say these things and all that. But I don't know, it's just a thought I have constantly on my mind. Now, nowhere it says that this here needs to be to a certain degree extended, so I'll just do this. Now we can complicate things, or we can simplify things just by doing that. This, and now I'll just... Okay. I hate when that happens. It's the language automatically switches on my end, and the shortcuts I have, suddenly they don't work. Now we have the circle that we needed, and in this instance, now, okay, I need it to be rather flat like this, so to create that inclination, no, just, yeah, like that. And maybe we can bevel this as well. Look at that, it's looking nice. Now you might not see it just yet, but it's there, trust me. So the only thing remains is that I need to... Come on! I hate when it happens. And I thought I selected that as well. So we'll do this, that a bit, no big deal, no big deal. Look at that speed, holy moly, rest in peace keyboard. Trust me, I mean, I don't want to, you know, brag about it, but I can be even quicker. I am working on with a pen here, and I don't know why, guys, and I'm really curious, what pen are you using, if anyone is using tablets. I'm using X Pen, and I'm having this tablet that has been provided to me by a friend of mine called Diamondus. I don't know if he's watching on the stream, but he has a YouTube channel, Twitch channel. He's not doing streams or anything like that, but all I'm saying, he's around. Very close friend of mine, and yeah, he has borrowed me his tablet. I have this one, the other one, but that's one for my laptop here, because it's smaller screen. But here, with these wide monitors, I needed something wider as well, so I did not plan on buying new and so on. So yeah, he borrowed me this one, but I would say the Wacom, I found it much to have much more control with this one. Sometimes whatever I'm clicking, it's not clicked. I have to click it second time to make sure it's done. So that goes to say that if I get with the mouse to work, I'll be quicker. But yeah, thank you GK. I'll take that compliment. So I'll use that as a backbone of these, so to align them like that. and all together with this one. No, I cannot have both of them at the same time. Silly. Yeah, like that. And now let's do it with this. Let's use that as well. Wait a sec. Yep. That's better. Or is it? I'll just leave it how it is. Okay, I have to go to sleep now, giving my eyes some rest. See you around. Tata. Bye bye, GK. Have a nice rest. Giving your eyes rest. I can very much understand that these days, guys. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I've been working up late until almost midnight. And on Saturday and Sunday, guys, in the morning hours, I could barely see. I mean, I can see very well still. I don't want to kind of push my luck. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm on PC since always, since a kid, and whether it's gaming or working or video editing, whatever, I've never had any issue. But after this day, this consecutive work of several days, I wake up and in the morning for like 2 hours on some distance of around 20-30 meters. I couldn't see texts or things like that. Usually I would, and yeah, it scared like the crap out of me. So for the next like several days, I said no work whatsoever. I won't touch anything. So yeah, GK, rest and take it easy. I use a mouse even for drawing. I got a X-Pen Pro for coloring when I start to do texturing. Yeah, I learned a lot just looking at how he attacks geometry. I'm very glad, guys, if that's really the case. It means that it's not meaningless, you know. And I'm very happy to hear that if that's the case. Thanks a lot. I just haven't worked the pen tablet into my workflow like I thought I would. Yeah. Now I'll just reconnect these like this, and I'll create points here on every single line that this circle that it's cutting through the geometry here, and I'll just realign them. It doesn't have to be like super, you know, precise. It's just good enough for me to connect them. That's all. Actually, this can be, yep, like that, over there, and we can do this here. That can be altogether removed. It won't do any good. This can be welded there, that over there. Okay, that doesn't have to be that much precise as well. You see, when what I was talking about the pressure, it's selected on other pieces behind, although I haven't really, and that usually doesn't happen with the mouse, with the usage of the mouse, but it will happen whenever I use this pen. So, but anyway, it's no big deal. So now I'll take this line here because it's correct, and I'll just drag it like that. This I'll try to, not happy. That's better. That's not right. There's that. Why it's like this? Why it's giving me... Okay, now it looks like we have something. Okay, just a sec, guys. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Okay, back on track. Hey Veer, good man. It's going good. Making some progress on the vehicle, on the rear engine actually. Making these details at the back to make sure they are how they appear to be here. Now, what I'm seeing, guys, is that actually, yeah, so this is actually continuing. Wait a sec. So, okay, I know how to approach this now. So, we have that platform there, which is flattened, and we will use this thickness here, which this element clearly has. Now what I'll do is I'll try to take from that point here to that point over there. So that's the line we should have here. And now we have it. Now we have it. I gotcha. Finally. And speaking of this, now this might end something like, yeah, we'll go back to it in a moment. Let's finish this off here. So now I'll add this to give me stability here, and this I'll just merge it into the very center that this here is, just like that. Now considering these lines here don't give me any control or any deformations whatsoever, I'm just gonna remove them all together like that, and I'll use this like that to make like that. Now what's not right in here? Yep, a lot of things. Look at that. It's a mess. Okay, let's quickly fix this. All of this, delete. I said only that edge, not everything. Again, look at that, how stupid it is. I cannot wrap my mind around how that's, you know. I specifically clicked on both lines and they still couldn't. Nope, but that's a good point. Let's save. Have you saved recently? No, I haven't. The time is 10 and 32. That means I'm working for hour and 20 minutes now, and I haven't made a single save. If anything crashes, yeah, it would have been perfect. Yeah, mate, I know, you're entirely right. That should be, I guess, the habit, you know, the best habit anyone can have. Or should have, you know, to save frequently. For that purpose, I'm gonna export all of this. What's that? Yeah, that's nothing important. So I'll export this as obj Porsche full rear engine details. OBJ. I have a couple of friends who reflexively save when they see my name. That's a great thing. Really. That's cool. Reflexively they say when they see my name. Great stuff. So okay, I mean, I'm getting very close, guys, to finishing up this whole block. Once I have this side made, like this area here and this area here, which is an area that actually I cannot see much. So what I plan on doing is just closing this up here, then this thing I'll mirror it on the bottom, and that's how it will be. I don't plan on doing anything more like in detail because I wouldn't know really what needs to be made. Yeah. Let's have this here. It's time to close it. Yeah, that surely goes to the end. Working on the Ford, it was interesting because I streamed also the whole process of the vehicle. I have been streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Whenever I get to see the model right now, I remember with whom I was talking about what and what specific thing that I've been modeling at the time. For example, right now, whenever I see the model, I mean, when I see the 3D later on, the renders, whatever, working on this, I'll remember you guys and I'll remember this conversation we have. And that might be 1 year from now. That might be, I don't know, 3 years from now. And that's an interesting thing, nice thing, at least for me. It's kind of putting things into perspective on what we talked about, how far each of us maybe has gone since then, whether it's been the creative process, or whatever. It's just it's not just a model, I don't want to sound too cliche about it, but why I'm saying this is because I'm actually wondering if it's the same with you guys when you work on something and you have been streaming that thing, whether when you go back it reminds you to the conversations and at what point this or that has been modeled. For example, when I see the engine of the car of the Ford, I specifically remember Eric, who is a great sculptor, with whom I've been discussing the possibility of entering his school for sculpting. And we were discussing extensively about that. And he was then continuing talking about certain character I've made and that how much improvement it needed. But again, I'm no character artist, so there are these pieces on the vehicle that when I see those, they remind me of those moments, and other pieces they remind me of other moments. I have a pretty crisp memory and will start a conversation where I left off years ago as soon as I see the person, like no time has passed. That's very cool. That's very cool. I have troubles remembering people's names. For example, if someone is using nickname, obviously, and you know, I would ask for a name, you know. So, for example, this guy the other day comes in, he has a so long name that I could barely spell it. And if he tells me his name, the chances are that even if he comes the next day, I might forget it. I'm not very good with names, and I thought about actually starting and writing them down because I feel very bad when that happens, and then I have to ask it once again. And just yesterday he was here on the stream, you know. So, but it's not, you know, probably depends also on the name, because if someone says like very, I don't know, some spectacular name, I would remember it immediately. But I don't know. Let's see if this actually works. It should be bigger. Yeah, might be some issues here and there, but we'll fix them. I'm actually counting on them to happen. Come on. Okay, so okay, that leaves the space for us to add a bevel here, so we can connect it with this in there in a minute. Or if I get to that point today, it's 10:45. I'll be streaming only 1 more hour, and I was expecting that yesterday I would have had the whole chassis of the other vehicle I'm doing, but actually I stumbled onto some details that bothered me, and I was so stubborn to get them right that I did not make the progress that I was hoping to make. So right now I cannot wait to go back and continue the work of the other vehicle. And it was very close, like that close, that I won't be streaming today, but I just said, you know, I would like to continue this discipline of streaming when I do have the time. So here I am. Oh. This weekend I'm gonna go see some of my old maker friends at steampunk event at Greenhouse. I would like to see that. Whether there is something on the internet, I would like to see that. Hopefully I remember their names and not just what they create. How's your project going, Kog? I would have asked myself because yeah, he's doing on a great project. I sat with the guys yesterday and got some critique on the direction I'm taking with the environment, so I'm over my writer's block for now. Also, like the shout I've made previously for turning cog, I would like also to give a shout out to Veer, because he has a great work when it comes to flying simulators and engines and all those stuff. So if you're guys interested in seeing really great work when it comes to engines, Veer is the guy to go. Nothing, man, you're welcomed. I really mean that. So fully deserved. To clean the geometry here a bit, I'll just cut on these like that, and probably even one more. I'm thinking, guys, at the end, when I'll finish this, to just strike it with subdivisioning, and then to go back again at it and try to try and clean it up the geometry and leave just what's, you know, what will be eventually meaningful to be left, like I'm saying, of the geometry, but the rest to give that very nice smooth feeling engines have of, you know, the metal. So it's not like with rigid lines like that, but it's actually something like this. See what I mean? Let's save it one more time. 89. You're welcome, man. I mean, really, whoever is interested into 3D modeling of engines, what you have made, man, it's really great stuff. Now I've told about your stream to several friends of mine, and I'm not sure if I got that correct, but you have been working for Flight Simulator. Is that correct or not? Or you've been working for the Indian Indian Air Company? Because I wanted to add on that the Flight Simulator is a game I played a lot as a kid. I never landed a plane though. I always crashed it. Never learned how to do so. They say, you know, turn on the flaps and take out the wheels, but I crashed every single time. Back again, even less than a minute. Thanks, Veer, and thanks for the sharing of that detail, those details. Yeah, take your time, enjoy the gym or whatever you're exercising on. Recently, I began boxing. It's a great way to, you know, how to say it, you know, take out some negative energy, I would say. I'm on the course of running 1,000 kilometers this year, At least that's what my goal is. So we'll see how it goes. So far I've ran around only 30 kilometers, and it's already 5th of March. But the thing is, I began running like on 9th of February. Prior to that I haven't run. So according to ChatGPT, is if I run around 25 kilometers a week, I should get it by late November. So we'll see what happens, but that's my goal of trying to run that much kilometers. Yeah, I don't run, nothing chasing me. I run, mate, solely for the fact that it's a great exercise when it comes to cardio, you know, this and that, and for the whole body in general. I used to hate running because I was never fast running. I was never, I saw it as a very slow thing, like from point A to point B you have to run, you know. But with a bicycle, it's a completely different story. So I always loved cycling, and I was cycling a lot. But as years went by, I realized that cycling is taking me too much time to do the exercise I'm planning to do for the day. For example, let's say I have live streaming 3 hours, I have 8 hours of work for additional project. That's 11 hours already I'm spending in front of the PC. And then I have to have some valuable time with my wife and, you know, doing other things that I would like to do. So if I'm going to cycle, and this I'm actually doing every single day. So if I'm about to go and cycle, I have to spare another 3 hours the least for me to go cycling. Because cycling, it's half an hour you have to prepare, you know, like the gear to find everything, you know, shorts for cycling, this and that, whatnot today, we know, mobile phones, headphones to play some music, whatever, get the bike, check the tires every single day, all that, and so on and so on. So you drive to a certain point, you're cycling for an hour and a half. You go back home, you have to, you know, take everything and just make sure everything is in order, like return the bike, the backpack, all these details. So it's not just 1 hour, it's not 2 hours, it's more or less 3 hours. So I don't have that time. 3 hours running, I can do almost a full marathon, almost, you know, like within 1 hour, just get my shoes, switch clothes quickly, off running for, I don't know, an hour, and the effect that I get out of that, it's much bigger than I'll get it out of cycling for 2 hours. So, and also it's like you said, no one is chasing me. Not that now someone is chasing me, but back then I would have hated, you know, to go that slow from point A to point B. But today I don't care that much how, you know, whether I'm been going here or there. I just go out to, you know, to do exercise, and I don't care if I'm just moving, I don't know, I just move 1 kilometer. It's no one waiting me on the other end. It's not like I'm, you know, I have to reach to the top of this mountain, you know. I'm just running across, I don't know, a field, and that would be it, you know. Why I'm not seeing everyone's messages? I can see someone writing on, but I guess that's on YouTube alone. Why I don't chat? Oh, multi-chat, there it is. Altitude. Hey Altitude. Hi there, mate. Long time no see. Welcome on the stream again, and glad to have you here. He says, I relate with that. I've been a cyclist for so long, however, that your muscles restructure for the muscle mechanics of cycling, such that if you were fast at walking, you struggle walking that fast again without pain. The trick with cycling time is terrain. Cycling on surfaces that aren't flat requires less time in total spent cycling to get reward. Let me try and find the place where I'm actually cycling, guys, so I can show you something that I've used to do in the past. I'm sure you would love to see it. Just a moment. Is the video on my YouTube channel? I think it's not. Yeah, it's not there. Yeah, it's not there. Just a moment. Yeah, cannot find it, so no point in bothering you guys with other videos. They wouldn't be though random, they would be from the mountain I have in mind. But yeah, I think Altitude just nailed it very nice. That, for example, if I'm cycling, I won't just go out now and cycle until, I don't know, the point where I'm running to as well, but I will cycle towards this top of this mountain that we have nearby, and it would usually take around, 3 hours to go up and down for you to have any meaningful impact. So I don't have that time, like I've said, and yeah, so that's the thing why I instead just I have started running, because I'll get in the gym, I'll run for an hour and I'm done. I'm getting back, I can continue working, which I would love to do so a lot. So that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. And speaking of, let me first read your message, because I think it's very interesting. I'm really competitive cyclist, Altitude says. My response or reaction speed. Even pedaling speed is high. Mentally, if I am walking a 50-meter distance, in my brain I should have arrived at my destination in 2 minutes. Absolutely. I, not myself actually, but my sister's husband, he's a triathlon athlete, and he's actually second in our country by performance. He's so good, about this stuff. So he has a bike, like, I don't know, it's a rocket ship, and he's cycling almost every single day. I very much like the fact that we can talk about sports as well, because I love sports. I've been playing water polo in my day. I've been prior to that, I've been to an extent a professional swimmer. I've been swimming a lot. I love that sport a lot. I think it's the best sport actually when it comes to when we speak about the body. It's probably the best sport because of the muscles that get active and all that. It's amazing. Whenever I had any injury, I'll just go swimming and everything will be back in like normal. So the thought is, why am I not there yet? As obvious as it is. Yeah, I get you. And that's pretty much the same problem I had, or I have still. It's because I more or less think the same way. And I can quite understand what you're trying to say. Or like if you're always or if you always drive a car, then suddenly have to use a slower car than your own. The difference from what you're used to is quite unsettling. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, and I can attest to that. But yeah, how to approach this? Will that just go into this engine? Yeah, I'd rather close this block here. So this will be closed. This will be closed as well. Yeah, no need for having additional lines here. Let's have this like that. Da-da-da. Okay. Willem, I don't know if you're listening. I'm just seeing, yeah, your photo here of the racetrack. It looks amazing, man. It looks amazing. I think we'll be over with this very soon. Thanks, Willem. Would love really to see that all, man. I'm speeding up here, guys, to try and make it this faster because I really don't have the time, and really these details will be great anyway, so I'm just trying to save file number 90. Willem, just now I read your message. I do have a lot of old racetracks assets from stands to the water. Maybe if you like, of course, we can do a cinematic. No kind of track with your Porsche. Yeah, sure. Yep, sure. Why not? That was fast, man. Willem, he's writing me on Discord. we're discussing, for anyone curious. So best would be, if you ask me, it would be the old Le Mans circuit. That would be the best, and I'll try to get that one to make some cinematics with this. Yeah, the old Le Mans circuit. But first of all, this model right now that I'm working on will be first foremost for visualization, so I won't be entirely pursuing that right away, but I'll be focusing on showcasing it with HDRIs, you know, those kind of things, to see how it goes. That's where my thoughts are in the moment. But yeah, we'll see. Still a long way to go till that point. Yeah, man. guys, that will be all for today. 10 minutes later began, 10 minutes later I'll finish. Have a lot of other things to do as well. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for everyone stopping by, saying hi, supporting the stream. Means a lot. If one day I can do this for a living, that would be great, but till then I have many other projects I need to that my attention is needed, so I gotta do that as well. Yeah, good progress today. Good progress today. Tomorrow, all the same. We'll get there. Thanks, Willem. Thanks. I'll need it. I'll need it a lot. What does? Okay. So I'll connect it like that. No idea whether it's like this or not, but what I can do, I cannot see much, so maybe improvise something, I don't know. Let me just... yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know. That's what we're building towards now. Actually, by looking at it, there's no big thing on the left side here. It's like just a cut here. So maybe I should just cut this right here. Like that, actually. Yep. Pretty tricky. I cannot make the sense of how this works, but yeah. That will be all for today, guys.